Hello, everybody. What are we going to take a look at today with the market going down? Take a picture of this. Even the S&Ps are only down 16 handles. They were down significantly more by about 15 handles. So NASDAQ down 69. Really pretty much of an unchanged market here. Volatility finally creeping up ever so slightly by about 35 cents, but staying in this tight range. What am I looking to do? Well, I'm looking to avoid earnings because a lot of earnings are coming in the coming weeks. CRM, if you look at here, doesn't have earnings until December 2nd, which is after the November expiration. From our research, 45 days is optimal to place trades. I'm going to look at CRM trade in November because there's no earnings. Earnings are December 2nd. So I'm not going to have to worry about any of that earning surprise. Let's take a look at what CRM is doing. CRM has been an underperformer here. If it wasn't up $2.50 today, I probably would have looked to do a 1x2 put ratio spread, get a little bit of long delta in there. But because it's up inside this middle of its range where it's been kind of meandering around from around 260 down to around 230, I'm going to play that range and see if the stock can beat me. But first, let's take a look at what the expected range is in November. You're looking at about $20 on expected range, which brings you up to around 262 and change, down to around 220 and change for this 43-day time frame. Let's look at one more thing. If I go here to these little lines and go down to my watch list, you'll see I have CRM here in the high option volume list. So there's plenty of liquidity in CRM, which works for me. You can see the highs and lows for the day. We're at or around the highs for CRM. But this is the metric I'm looking at right now, the IVX 5-day change. Volatility is up 3% over the last 5 days. That's what this metric means. And you've got a high IV rank of 39 already in CRM, which has been growing over the last 5 days. And you know me, I like to sell volatility while it's moving higher, expecting volatility to be mean reverting. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to do those parameters I just explained to you a moment ago. I'm going to try to stay outside of its most recent range. I'm going to go down to the 220 puts. Now, with the stock at 242, I'm only about $22 away, and there's a 20-ish delta on those puts. The 20-ish delta on the calls is closer to 270, 275. I had to make a decision here whether I wanted to go to the 280 calls or go to the 270 calls. I opted to go to the 270 calls. I got filled at 775 on this trade. I did have to move it off of mid-price by about 3 or 4 cents to get filled here. You'll notice that the puts are about 10 cents wide between the bid ask, and the calls are about 15 cents wide. I did have to move it about 3-4 cents off of mid-price to get filled here. Buying power effect is $2,500. The theta decay per day is $2,100. More importantly, the probability of profit is right at that 68%. I like to put on trades that have a higher probability of profit of 68%. Expanding volatility. Now, if CRM continues to go higher, volatility will probably continue to go higher also. So you're going to have to play here inside the range here. You'll notice that that range is right here in that amber line. This green line is my win window, which brings me just under 220 to around 213 or so, and up to around 277, 278, which is outside that standard deviation to the upside. So even though you have a little bit of short delta in here, I consider it neutral as we have more room to the upside. 270 is almost $27 away to the upside, and my downside is a lot closer. All right, that's my trade for today in CRM, collecting $7.75. And if you haven't been able to see that, you can go right down to the follow page, and in that follow page, you can go down to the bets, and you'll see my trade. There's CRM made today at 9:56 in the morning, got filled at 775 for a 68% pop. Click on there. I put my little comments. It's a classic 20-ish delta strangle. Those are my short strikes for option trades today with the bat. That's all you need to know, except one more thing. We need you to open, move, transfer your account to Tasty Trade so I can keep all this content, free to you into perpetuity.